Hi, welcome to the word for today, Monday, the May 25th. Overcoming workaholism. Mark 6:31. Get some rest. One of Satan's tactics is to take us from one extreme to the other, from laziness to workaholism. Understanding the difference between being a hard worker versus a workaholic is a key. Hard workers have the wisdom to set limits on how much they will do in the course of a day. So important. Hard workers have the wisdom to set limits on how much they will do in the course of a day. In her book, 30 Days to a Stronger, More Confident You, Deborah Smith Peggis wrote, I was in denial about my propensity towards workaholism until I realized that I had too many of the telltale symptoms. I worked late the majority of the time. Most of my conversations revolved around the issues at the office. I rarely took lunch breaks. I was always multitasking. I rarely performed any task single-mindedly. If I talked on the phone, I would also use the time to tidy the house. If I watched television, I also organized papers, and on it went. When I tried relaxing, I would think of all the things I should be doing. My to-do list had more items on it than I could possibly achieve during a single day. I was a slave to my overcommitted calendar. I left little or no downtime. Everybody seemed to move too slowly. I was always rushing to the next appointment. I looked forward to the accolades I received for performing well. I found little time to nurture my friendships. Today I try to engage only in those activities I feel are a part of God's plan for my life. Wow, wow, wow. So this is what I did. And I can tell that in another video. But this is so true. I've seen so many people entangled in this workaholism, so-called workaholism, according to them, just to keep the idea of themselves being very busy. What great advice. Jesus said to his hardworking disciples, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Is the Lord saying the same thing to you? So let us introspect ourselves and think about it. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful word for today. And we go into, so the reference is Matthew chapter 13 verses 1 to 9. On the same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the sea, and great multitudes were gathered together to him, so that he got into a boat and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Then he spoke many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, the sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony places where they did not have much earth, and they immediately sprang up because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And we have a next Bible reference, that is Psalm 45. The glories of the Messiah of his bride. My heart is overflowing with a good theme. I recite my composition concerning the King. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. You are fairer than the sons of men. Grace is poured upon your lips. Therefore God has blessed you forever. Gird your sword upon your thigh, O mighty one, with your glory and your majesty, and in your majesty ride prosperously because of truth, humility, and righteousness. And your right hand shall teach you awesome things. Your arrows are sharp in the art of the king's enemies. The peoples fall under you. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness more than your companions. All your garments are scented with myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces by which they have made you glad. King's daughters are among your honorable women. At your right hand stands a queen in gold from Ophir. Listen, O daughter, consider and incline your ear. Forget your own people also and your father's house. So the king will greatly desire your beauty. Because he is your Lord, worship him. And the daughter of Tyre will come with a gift. The rich among the people will seek your favor. The royal daughter is all glorious within the palace. Her clothing is woven with gold. She shall be brought to the king in robes of many colors. The virgins, her companions who follow her, shall be brought to you. With gladness and rejoicing they shall be brought. They shall enter the king's palace. Instead of your father shall be your sons, whom you shall make princes in all the earth. I will make your name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore the people shall praise you forever and ever. Amen. And then we have Proverbs 13 and verses 13 to 16. He who despises the word will be destroyed, but he who fears the commandment will be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays upon his folly. Alright, so that is what is so important. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays upon his folly. Yep, this is so beautiful for today, where it says about the fake workaholism. We just get ourselves grooved in, and how to overcome it. So just to say, I try to engage only in those activities I feel are part of God's plan to my life. So that's so important. Yeah, so let us just think about this and know what's the difference between a hard worker and a workaholic. So how Satan tricks us to do this, it either puts us in laziness or workaholism. Always there should be a balance. Balance is such an important word where the world misses a big time. And with anything and everything is in balance is just so beautiful. Too much of anything or too less of anything is bad enough. Alright, God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow for the word for that day. See ya. Bye.